I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Guys, I once again welcome you to another exciting edition of Manual TV Sports Channel's daily updates. And quickly, let's check out the tidbits for today's stories. The senior national team, the Black Stars, are set for decisive finish with two of their 2026 Crucial World Cup qualifiers spread across the month of September. I have voluminously spoken about possible defenders and goalkeepers, and in today's video, I'm going to focus on possible midfielders, the engine of the Black Stars team. Another action-packed Sunday across Europe with several Black Stars players featuring for their respective clubs, and I'll voluminously talk from the camps of all these players. If you are new on this platform, before I proceed with the details of the stories, kindly subscribe to the channel, hit on the post notification bell for more updates. Don't forget to like the video and share to other social media platforms. Follow Manual TV Sports both on Facebook and TikTok, and leave your decent comments in the comment box for special shoutouts in my subsequent videos. Ladies and gentlemen, straightforward, let's get into the video. And to commence with is a camp of Black Stars forward, Jerry Effiye. He has officially completed a season-long loan move to Belgium Jupiter Pro League side, RAAL La Louvière. Currently, they are setting 11th on the ongoing 2025-2026 Belgium Jupiter Pro League. The full name of the club in Belgium is Royal Association Athletic Louvière La Louvière, and this is a new club for Jerry Effiye. It's a piece of good news. Barely 2 weeks ago, I spoke about him after completing his medical at this club, and this is the right time for him to complete an official move in the form of a season-long loan move from Al Qassia in Saudi Arabia to RAAL La Louvière in the Belgium Jupiter Pro League. And this is in line with their strategic agreement. And that is that from the camp of Jerry Effiye. Away from his camp is to the camp of Ibrahim Sulemana-Kakari. Per the latest reports coming in, I think he's going to be a bench warmer, or he's not even going to be part of Atalanta Calcio team. Is going to be surplus to requirements. And according to the latest reports, they are now evaluating his departure as to whether they will give him to any club on a season-long loan or to purchase him permanently. And with the exclusive coming in, his former club, Cagliari, are also putting in any efforts in order to get the signature of Ibrahim Sulemana-Kakari, and they are in hot hassles with Atalanta Calcio. They have this active transfer relationship, and as to whether it will materialize, it remains to be seen how this situation will develop in the coming weeks. And that is that from his camp. And away from his camp is some latest injuries surrounding Black Stars team ahead of the 2026 Crucial World Cup qualifiers. And the first person to talk about is Ernest Appiah-Nuamah. With the latest that I have, Ernest Appiah-Nuamah is having cruciate ligament injury, and per that, he might return on the 6th of December 2025, according to the latest injury updates coming in from the French League N. Based on the statistics that I have, Ernest Appiah-Nuamah is having cruciate ligaments, and he's expected to return exactly on the 6th of December 2025, which is not a piece of good news. It's bad news and sad one that you'll be missing the services of Ernest Appiah-Nuamah in these two Crucial World Cup qualifiers spread across September, on the 4th against Chad, 4 days later on the 8th against Mali at the Accra Sports Stadium. Still in Black Stars camp with injuries, Abu Francis, with the latest coming in, he also missed out today's game for Toulouse. And per the latest and statistics that I have, his expected return dates is dash. We don't know as it stands now. And I don't know the extensive details of the injury of Abu Francis. Whatever it is, I'll keep you updated concerning his injury. The next player to talk about is Tariq Lamptey. Per the statistics and the news that I have here, Tariq Lamptey is currently having knee injury, and he might return on the 13th of next month, 2025, 13th of September 2025. So the likelihood that Tariq Lamptey will miss the 2026 World Cup qualifiers is very high. And these are some quick updates surrounding some Black Stars players. And on these notes, let me quickly go through the performances of some Black Stars players today in Europe for their respective clubs. The first game to talk about is Everton 2, Brighton and Albion 0. And as I've spoken about Tariq Lamptey, he was out due to new injury and he might return on the 13th of September 2025. The next game was Atalanta Calcio 1, Pisa 1. Kamaldeen Sulemana had a cameo and indeed he performed well. He was even the second highest rated player on the field of play, even with his cameo. Kamaldeen Sulemana played only 20 minutes. No goal, no assist. Via Sofa's Asuka score, he had 7.5 and Kamaldeen Sulemana had 21 touches with 13 out of 14, representing 93% passing accuracy. Still in the performances of some Black Stars players camp is Villarreal 5, Girona 0 in the Spanish La Liga. Thomas Partey in the second game also helped his club side Villarreal to annihilate Girona by 5-0. And Kweku Partey played 45 minutes. He came in and he did well. He was subbed on into the game and indeed Thomas Kweku Partey didn't disappoint. With the 45 minutes, Partey didn't score. Partey didn't assist in the 5 goals that his club side Villarreal scored. Thomas Kweku Partey, a trademark of him, he had 44 touches with 32 out of 38, representing 84% passing accuracy, 7.0 rating via Sofa Sasuka score. And that was it from Thomas Partey's second game for his club side, Villarreal. The next game to talk about is Real Oviedo 0, my own team, Ala Madrid, Real Madrid 3, and Kwesi Sibo. He is expected to be part of the Black Stars team. Looking at his performance on the field of play, he played the full total, 90 minutes. He didn't score. He didn't assist. Let's look at the characteristics of a midfielder as a central midfielder. He had 56 touches. With the 56 touches, 35 out of 39 were accurate passes, representing 90%. No key pass, 1 shot on targets, 1 shot off targets, 0 shots blocked. Via Sofa's Asuka score, he had a rating of 6.1 tonight against the Galacticos, Real Madrid in the Spanish La Liga. And that is that from the camp of Kwesi Sibo. And away from the camp of Kwesi Sibo, it's about Black Stars possible midfielders for our upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifiers. And indeed, I have to talk about all these players. Now, going into the game, I've spoken about our goalkeepers. I've spoken about our defenders. And I've now given you an update about the exclusives with our injuries. The possibility of players like Midfielder-Nuamah-Seidu, Tariq Lamptey coming to play for the Black Stars will be very difficult. Midfielder-Seidu returned, and just after the possible midfielders, I will add up some performances for you to know how things transpire today in Europe. Now, Elisha Owusu is one of the midfielders possibly choosing to be part of Otuado's possible or final man squad for the matches spread across September. With Elisha Owusu, he intercepts the ball very well. These are some of the trademarks and attributes of him, and the reason why I'm choosing him to be part of Otuado's final midfielders for the upcoming matches. Aside that, Elisha Owusu is a player. When he's playing as a defensive midfielder, he really protects the back line. And that is that from his camp. The next midfielder to talk about is Abdul Salih Samed. And Abdul Salih Samed is also having the same trademarks like Elisha Owusu, but he's a type who presses aggressively. And that is one of his attributes on the field of play. And these are some of the reasons why I am selecting these two players to be part of the midfielders. And the next player is Thomas Kweku Partey. And with Thomas Partey's issue, he will be appearing before courts on the 5th of next month. And our first game will be on the 4th of next month. I don't know, based on the coaches or the technical team's tactical prowess, as to whether they will exclude Thomas Partey from the first game. But looking at the next game, Partey will be available even 3 days after his court issue. And that is it. He can leave England to come and play for Black Stars against Mali, because against Mali will be a highly contested game and it will be more heavier than that of Chad. And Thomas Partey, when he's coming into the game, you know that Partey is a player who will definitely bring calmness and also authority into the midfield when it comes to big games. Partey is a player who dictates the tempo of the game with long passes when we need players like him to provide for us in order for us to score goals. And that is that from the camp of Thomas Partey. The last but one midfielder to talk about is Midfielder-Nuamah-Seidu. I've spoken about him, meaning he's going to be a bench warmer or an infringed player for Atalanta Calcio in this season. And definitely he will get a club to play for. But before the World Cup qualifies, going into the game, I think Otsuado, based on his experience with the Black Stars team, he will select Midfielder-Nuamah-Seidu, and I know you all know his trademarks on the field of play. The last midfielder to talk about is the star boy, Mohamed Kudus. And going into the game against Mali especially, we need a player who can unlock their defenders with that kind of vision, with that kind of dribbling, and with that kind of decisive passes. A player who can score from any angle when he's dictating from the midfield. And there's no player like Mohamed Kudus who should be part of the Black Stars team. Aside that, I have some players on the standby list. Kwesi Sibo is also a player who I think should get his Black Stars call-up for the very first time going into the World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Mali. With the absence of Thomas Partey, I think Kwesi Sibo will be the right replacement for Thomas Partey. Abu Francis, and currently he's injured. I don't know his injury return expected dates, and that is that. Majid Ashimeru, currently he's not playing for his club side, even though their game was postponed today, and that is that. Lawrence Ajekum is also another midfielder. In the absence of all the players that I've mentioned, any of them he can replace, and that is that from the possible midfielders for the senior national team, the Black Stars, in our upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Madagascar. And let me just end this presentation with the continuation of the performances of some Black Stars players. Borussia Mönchengladbach 0, Hamburger SV 0. Ransford Yeboah-Konisdorfer started the game and played 74 minutes. As a centre forward, via Sofa Sasaka score, he had rating of 6.3 out of 10.0. Laurent 4, Stade Rennais 0. They had 2 red cards. Stade Rennais had 2 red cards. Aliou Seidu came into the game, and looking at his performance, he's now back to feature for his club side, Stade Rennais, and he's going to be back in the Black Stars upcoming squad list from Otuado and his technical team. And that is that from Aliou Seidu's camp. It's a piece of good news. Toulouse 2, Brest 0. Francis Abu was injured, so he wasn't part of the match day squad, and that is that from his camp. Lille 1, AS Monaco 0. Salis Mohamed wasn't part of AS Monaco's match day squad. He wasn't part of the injury and suspended players, and I don't know the reason why. I have already spoken about him, that he wants a move away from AS Monaco to any other club. And as to whether it will be a long loan or it will be a permanent move to any other club, I don't know as it stands now. That is going to be very difficult to understand from the likes of Mohamed Salisu coming to feature for the Black Stars. If he's not going to have enough time from his club side, AS Monaco, then it's going to be very difficult for him to have a good time with the Black Stars in these upcoming World Cup qualifiers. And that is from the camp of Mohamed Salisu and other Black Stars players. I'll end here with my presentation, and I was being supported by my hardworking chief editor, Emmanuel Kwame Asiedu, an amazing graphic designer. Dominic, let me take a leave of you, but before that, please let me give special shout out to these amazing commenters. They've really supported the platform. Abdulaziz Seidu, I do appreciate your support. Tre David, I do appreciate your support. Francis Kede, Nick V33B7X, I do appreciate your support. Edward Papason, I do appreciate your support. Ghanism, I do appreciate your support. Eric Owusu 9405, I do appreciate your support. Nanampim Dako, Olembe Wahab, Edward Osei Tutu, and the truth must be told. Yes, the truth must be told. I do appreciate your support to Manuel TV Sports. And that is it. God richly bless each and every cherished viewer on this platform. As a Frenchman will say, au revoir.